Hey, what's up, my friend? Keala here, and in this video, we're gonna have a real conversation about passive income, the likes of which you've probably never heard anywhere else before. So if you're serious about creating a passive income lifestyle, then this video is one that you cannot afford to miss. So hang with me all the way up until the very end. Right now, today, you can make a decision that changes your life and go out there and get what you came here for. All right, so in this video, we're gonna have a conversation about passive income in grave detail. And I say grave detail because the truth is that you might not like everything that you're about to hear. Some of it is probably even gonna scare you just a little bit. And the reason is that this video is not gonna be filled full of fluff, filler, and fantastical nonsense like you can find everywhere else on the internet. Instead, this is gonna be grounded in reality and certainty. And you're gonna walk away with a real understanding of what it's gonna take for you to hit the passive income goals that you have for your life. Now, before I dive into that content here in just a moment, I just want to remind you that if you like this video, if you like this sort of content, then just go ahead and click the little like button down below, wherever it is that you're seeing this on the internet. And even better, if you're loving the content, drop a comment down below and let me know, did you get value out of the video, or what other questions did you have that you want answered about, your personal success or business success. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and click that little bell notification and join the Bell Squad so you get notified every week when I roll out content. I'm rolling out about 1 to 2 videos a week to help you create more success in your life and your business, period. All right? So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so the best way that we're gonna be able to describe the content here is to go through a hypothetical example. So in a moment here, I'm gonna pull out this whiteboard and I'm gonna go through a hypothetical example with you. But if you're somebody who's watching this video right now, then chances are that you want to live that passive income dream, right? You want to have the ability for your money to go to work for you and to create more money for you so that you can achieve a point in life in which working is 100% optional. And if that's what you want, you're going to get a real clear-cut picture of what it's going to take to make that happen in this video. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a couple of columns here. And on the far left here, we're gonna put age, okay? And here's what I would suggest is in this column, you should write down your age currently. So take out a piece of paper, pause this video. Trust me, you'll wanna do this exercise. You will get a ton of value out of this. So pause the video, grab a pen and paper, draw a couple of, turn it into 3 columns. And on the far left, you're gonna write your age today. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a hypothetical character. So I'm gonna say, our hypothetical example is 35 years old today. All right. Now in this middle column, we're going to put income. Okay. Now income is the goal income that you would like to live off of passively. So what income do you need to come into your life on an annual basis passively for you to live the lifestyle that is going to be comfortable for you, right? That you would be happy to retire to. Okay. So in this example, just to keep the numbers really simple and round, I'm gonna put $100,000. So our hypothetical 35-year-old character wants to make $100,000 a year passively and is perfectly comfortable retiring with a $100,000 a year lifestyle, okay? Now here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna add 15 years over and over again on this column until we get up over 100. Now the reason that I say we want to get up over 100 is because if you're under 40 and you're watching this video right now at about the time that I'm filming this, then there's a decent likelihood that you can live well over 100 years, to be over 100 years old, based on some of the emerging sciences in the world of anti-aging. Now, that's a whole nother video, completely different topic. Just trust me, add 15 to this until you get over 100, because you want to have, nobody wants to have more life at the end of their money than money at the end of their life, right? So get up to over 100. So this 35-year-old in 15 years, he'll be 50 or she'll be 50, right? 15 years later, they'll be 65. 15 years later, they'll be 80. Then they'll be 95 and then 110. So now we're up over 100 here at the bottom. Great. Now here's what we're going to do next. For each one of these age brackets, we're now going to double this number. So at 50, this person's going to need $200,000 a year. At 65, they're going to need $400,000 a year. And I'll talk about why in just a moment. At 80, they're going to need $800,000 per year. At 95, they'll need $1.6 million per year. And at 110, they'll need $3.2 million per year. Now, why am I saying that? Well, typically, based on the law of averages, every 15 years, you're going to need to double your income in order to keep up with the inflation rates, right? Because inflation goes up, the value of the dollar goes down over time, you need to double your income every 15 years just to maintain the same lifestyle that you had 15 years prior. So in other words, by the time this person is 110 years old, they need to make $3.2 million, not to live a $3.2 million lifestyle like you or I would live today. No, we're talking about a $3.2 million per year lifestyle that supports the $100,000 a year lifestyle. It's the same lifestyle, but that's how much more money that they're going to need over time. So whatever the amount of money is that you want to retire with, that you want coming into your life passively, you should know that every 15 years that number is going to have to double in order for you to keep up with and just maintain the lifestyle. Otherwise, inflation is going to devour your lifestyle slowly over time, and it's going to eventually dwindle your wealth down to nothing. Okay? Now, here's the real kicker. So, this final column, we're going to put here invested. And now we're going to figure out how much money would you have to have invested that's going to work for you and generating a passive income for you in order for you to have this lifestyle. Now, I want to be really clear about this next part, right? We're not talking about some fantastical idea about how you're going to like get rich quick and find some, undervalued marijuana technology that's going to soar through the roof, or some, cryptocurrency that's going to change the world and fund your retirement. Or, some business opportunity where you get three people who get three people who get three people, and before you know it, the whole damn world is going to be in your downline and you're going to be rich for the rest of your life, right? Those are all get-rich-quick schemes. And people who like to get rich quick tend to get rich never. That's just the facts. So if you want to have a grounded, a sense of groundedness and certainty about your future, then you should be really considering what is the market return on average year over year when you average it out over time, right? Now, are there some investors who have, might make, a 12% return on their portfolio, or 20% or 25% or something ridiculous, 1 year or a couple of years in a row? Absolutely. But the truth is that very few, very, very, very few investors ever beat the markets in the long run. Very few. So unless you're going to dedicate the rest of your life to becoming one of the top 1% of the 1% of investors, right, then you should really just be looking at, well, how much money do I need to have passively invested in the marketplace, and what's the average rate of return? And as I'm shooting this video, roughly the average rate of return is about 8%. Now, I'm not going to dive into all of the details around that either, okay? But let's just assume an 8% return. So if I want to make $100,000 a year passively, that number needs to be 8% of what I have invested into the marketplace, right? So I'm going to pull out my phone now, a little calculator, and I'm going to figure out what does this number have to be. And in order to figure that out, here's what we do. You take your goal income here and you divide by 0.08, and that will tell you what this number is 8% of. Now, I've given this talk before at events, live events, and it never fails that there's some person who all of a sudden became a mathematician in the last 3.6 seconds and wants to tell me, no, you don't. You're supposed to multiply by 0.08. No, you do not, because then you will find out what 8% of this number is. You need to find what this number is 8% of. So just trust me. If that didn't make sense, trust me. Just take this number, your number, and divide by 0.08, okay? So we'll take 100,000 and divide by 0.08, and that's going to come out to 1.25 million. So this hypothetical 35-year-old who wants to live a $100,000 a year lifestyle passively would have to have $1.25 million invested in the marketplace with an average rate of return of 8%, which is being conservative, it's being grounded, it's being poised, it's being clear, it's not trying to get rich quick, right? It's just playing the odds and making sure the odds are in their favor. Now, that means then that at 50, this number is going to have to be 2.5. At 65, this number is going to have to be 5 million. It's going to have to be 10 million here. It's going to have to be 20 million by the time that they're 95, and it's going to have to be 40 million by the time that this person is 110 years old. And that's the game. This is just simple math. We're not speculating. We're not, trying to beat the odds. We are letting the odds play out in our favor. This is simple math. Now, here's what I want to share with you before you go. Right? If you're watching this video right now, chances are that you're way behind what it's going to take for you to create a passive income lifestyle, right? And that's just normal, because only about it's no wonder then that only 1% of people ever create real financial independence. The other 99% never really do. But if you're behind right now, it doesn't matter where you are right now, because right here, right now, you can make a decision to make a change. And it starts with saving a portion of your income and setting that aside, putting that away, and really, truthfully, your savings account is your first investment account. From there, not that it's going to ever give you like incredible returns, but the first rule of money, don't lose it. That's Warren Buffett, right? So you'll put it in, stuff it away into your savings, and then you take, once you have about 90 days worth of liquidity there, you can take a portion and start investing it into the market. And over time, you just keep doing that over and over and over again. You can earn the right to increase your level of risk in the market, and eventually you can set yourself free. I read a story once about a woman who had never earned more than $2 an hour in her entire life, but when she died, she left over $10 million to charities of her choice. Right? Never earned more than $2 an hour. So it's not how much you make, it's how you manage what you make. And anybody who's wealthy will tell you that that's the game, right? Now here's a secret that most people don't talk about. Money goes to where money is appreciated and growing. Think about it. If you were crossing the street tomorrow and a bum came up to you and said, hey, take me out to lunch. I'd love to share with you some knowledge and wisdom. Would you be at all interested in the opportunity to take this, a homeless person, which I got nothing against homeless people. I'm not trying to make a dig on that. I'm just making a point. Would you be interested or inspired to take that homeless person to lunch? Probably not. But if you had an opportunity to take a billionaire to lunch, would you be interested in paying for that lunch and going to lunch with that billionaire? Think about it. Why is that? Because on one end, right, the money is growing and appreciating, and so it attracts more money. When you start managing your money well, more money will begin to flow to you from places that you can't even begin to imagine right now. You can very easily set yourself free from some job, or set yourself free from whatever, sort of financial prisons that you're in right now. But it's going to start with managing your money effectively, which, is going to start with having the values that it takes to manage money effectively. But I just want to give you something to walk away with, a real grounded conversation about passive income. No bullshit. No fluff, no filler, no fantastical, astronomical, promises of getting rich overnight and all that sorts of jazz. No. This is what it really takes. This is what I'm working towards in my business. This is what I teach our clients to work towards in my company. So yes, we teach them skills to help them, build their own businesses, but we also talk about the importance of saving and investing over time to eventually set yourself free. So hopefully you got some value out of this. Again, it's not the fun, exciting, woohoo stuff that everybody's talking about. Instead, it's just reality, man. That's all it is. So hopefully you got some value out of that. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you like the content. Make sure you click the like button no matter where it is that you're seeing this video. Share it, tag some friends on it if that's what you want to do. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, the most important thing of all, make sure you subscribe, click that little bell notification, join the Bell Squad, and get notified every week that I roll out new content to help you improve your life and your business, period. I'll see you in a future video, my friend. Take care.